Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome the one and only star of dark cinema, screen, one of the mainstays of Jeff Dogg and the Potheads, rhythm guitarist, broke out in his own band, the Blue Note All-Star Band. Ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Brad! Woo! Woo! Lint Chocolate. Lint Chocolate is sitting in with us. Bradley Brad in the house. How are you doing, Brad?
Very good. Happy to be here.
And I suppose I should make it so that our audiences could hear us. I'm going to take a little quick mute trip here. Hey, good God. This is much better. Okay, yes, and so yeah, Bradley Brad. So good to see you again.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
What have you been up to lately?
I've, just been living my life after the.
We don't have to get into that if you don't want to. It's
okay.
Kind of. It's I know. But. Bradley, Brad, and I, we used to go to college with one of the candidates' kids. Was it that Wolfer guy? Harry Wolfer? Do you remember that guy? Rich? Is that the Eastern Oregon guy? Wasn't there a Harry Lonsdale? That's who I'm thinking of. Do you remember that guy?
He's a real guy.
Harry Lonsdale. Yeah, man. That's. He's not running, is he?
If he's not dead, he's up there.
Did you vote for Lonsdale, Brad?
I believe I did.
I did too. Anyway, I was going to we try and keep this stuff a little bit more organized, and as trench diggers kind of putting the pressure on us. In fact, geez, they got these editorials they want us to start doing now. I'm going to try and procrastinate that a little bit longer because we have Bradley Brad here. Brad, some of the folks out there may not recognize you because it's been a while. We're all a little bit older. I'm going to go ahead and show them a little something. Maybe we can talk about this, one of your first early characters.
Trying to tell me, forget the Russian primary, you can't win? I told Harrington, the day I can't take Russia is the same day a certain policy advisor freezes his microscopic pecker off while inspecting the front line. I told him. Get me?
All right. So that was Bradley Brad there. Also working with one of our favorites, Mr. David Farrell. I believe your character was Philip something.
Philip Kennedy, yes.
What did it take for you to discover that character?
It took a lot of work, and I probably owe an apology to David Farrell for.
Kennedy was an industrialist.
For stealing that scene.
Lint Chocolate knew Philip Kennedy. Apparently, there's something about you were like my recollection from that movie. It's been a while. It's called The Harlequin. Speaking of which, we might be getting a phone call from somebody pretty soon. I better check, make sure we don't have any. Okay, good. I didn't think so. The Harlequin, and he was an industrial baron, if I remember correctly, Philip Kennedy, and he was very rich. And I think these were a bunch of fat cats, the type you'd see, meeting with Lonsdale and Hales to, let's build condos.
Yeah, and that's my background. My father was an industrial capitalist, and so it came very natural to me.
You grew up filthy rich, didn't you?
I did, yes, I did. It's very nice.
Now, what makes you rich people so different from us that are not rich?
Well, we've got the money. That's a big part of it.
Man, I'd like to have money. Money sounds kind of cool.
Marge Simpson had some thoughts on that. And she just thought the rich were better.
Are the rich just better, like superior in some way?
No, I think it's just that money thing they've got.
So like a poor guy can go from being poor and then all of a sudden he's rich. And then the rich guy can, like, what was that? Eddie Murphy did a movie like that, I think, with Harry Lonsdale, Vince Lombardi. Anyway, well, let's talk a little bit more about this other role you had. I seem to remember you did this thing. It was my first movie. It was called Templeton, and you played my lead star. Let's go down memory lane with that for a little bit. Here we are, Templeton, 1994, 95, somewhere in there. Yeah, and we are back. That was some scenes from one of my first movies, Templeton. I guess that's so far back. That's like when Brad went by a different name before he became, I guess like prior to the Blue Note. And anyways, we're gonna get. I so want to get into Blue Note. So yeah, that's a good point. Lint brings up a good point. We did Templeton and all that, but let's get into Blue Note. So Blue Note was what?
It was kind of a possession that something just would take over my body late on weekend nights sometimes.
I remember I was in this groovy band called the Butler and His Freaks. I think you were like somehow got involved. It's so fuzzy trying to remember back then. But I remember in particular, like 4 a.m., these like special Blue Note performances that we would get. One night in particular, you had a thing for this. You did this amazing cover, like Tracy something. Tracy, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't recollect that one.
Like I drive a fast car, something like that. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, well, we're going to pay some bills, so we'll be right back. Let's hear from our favorite steakhouse. Yeah, we're going to try a little something. It appears that Brad has left the building, but Blue Note has joined us. He's going to be joining us on backup vocals. So let's just take a real quick second. We're going to readjust here. We're going to come back with some really cool music for you. Here we go. And, ladies and gentlemen, Blue Note to the mic, my friend. That's just too cool. Brad, let's put you deserve a mic. Why don't you take this guy? In fact, keep talking to that guy. I need to hear you.
Okay.
I need some more. Say, why don't you spell your name and why you're here?
Again, my name is Brad, and I'm here just to relive some of the magic that was at one time.
And is no
Amen.
more. Is no more. And there will be no more magic. This is a little old one we used to do. I wonder if maybe you'll remember this one. Yeah, man, that was fun. Let's take a real quick commercial break. Yeah, man.
It starts with the gear. A well-seasoned pan and a hot flame and utensils. We'll put it in a pan and keep it sizzling, hot and delicious. One bite and you'll love it. See what renowned head chef Raul Armando Augusta Castillo is cooking up. Check out our mouth-watering daily specials. We serve the finest transcontinental delicacies that are out of this world. Where are you gonna find the best meal in town? Chez Bristo. We're cooking for you.
Ooh, yeah, man. I'm just having a great time here. We got Lint chocolate in the house, Brad. We were so busy last week waiting for some guests that never showed up that we forgot to run our favorite little Portland Orbit Report. The guys at Portland Orbit Report have been really helpful and kind to us. In fact, there's a recent article and an interview with us about the show. You should check it out. But let's take a look at this report that is about 1 month late. That's my bad. I'm sorry. Here it is.
Ghost bike, white, normal, riderless, alone, chained, a riderless reminder, Killingsworth at 9th, a ghost bike reminder, to be safe, tragedy here, accident, slow down, ghost white riderless, alone roadside bike, do they notice? Do they care? Do they know what it's about? Haunting whisper. Ghost bike remember.
Okay, thank you, the Portland Orbit Report, and we are back live at the studio, and I had about 3 other guests lined up tonight, but I'm just having too much fun with my old friend Brad here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him back out. Bradley Brad. Yeah, Bradley Brad. Woo! God, all right. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got Lint chocolate on lead guitars, as always, Mr. Steven Sabila on bass, and yours truly, the great, wonderful, rockin' Rich Reese. So Rich, while I got Brad on the couch here, you've been doing some traveling a lot, haven't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's seen anything new or interesting or exciting? Any words of advice?
Well, I went to visit a couple of friends down in the Bay Area. And 2 of them were guys I used to play music with when I was in college, which was in Eugene in the mid-'90s.
Wait, what band was that?
I don't know, we didn't even really have a name. And this was before I was in the soul band. These were just some guys I used to get together with, play some rock music, some drugs, like weed and stuff like that.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm hanging out with these guys, and as you probably all know, I'm totally clean. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore.
Yeah.
We had such a great time. We played some rock music in some studio in the city, and we were having a very nice dinner of some clams. Clam house. It was a very pleasant evening. They were so excited that I was there that they bought a bag of cocaine.
Oh.
And they stayed up all. These guys are 40, by the way. I'm not naming names, of course.
Yes.
And I passed out on the couch, and they just stayed up doing lines, and it was very interesting.
I hear it gets tougher as you get older to at least score. I don't know.
One of these guys.
That's what I've observed.
City down there, and they're they're the kind of guys that know like the most exciting a couple
That's pretty wild. That kind of reminds me of a wedding I was at in Brooklyn with a guy that
down south of Powell?
no, the other one. The other one, well, it's close. They're like copying everything we do. That other Brooklyn.
Sure.
Is it Lads Edition Brooklyn? I get them mixed up. But the one near Manhattan, I believe. Right. And we were at some party, and it's like a wedding thing. And I'm voting someday, maybe the 9th or 10th, but like, I don't want to incriminate him either. But his wedding was in New York, and there was cocaine involved. And a lot of chases across the bridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's a lot of activity.
And I got stranded. Like, I think I got stuck at where they did the When Harry Met Sally restaurant. You know where that is? With the orgasm scene, the famous orgasm. They happened to be open all night, and so I hung out there for a while.
Oh man.
Drinking Heinekens, $7 Heinekens. So.
Oh jeez, are you sure you weren't at JFK or something? Port Authority.
No, that'd be $12, I think. Anyway, but my good friend Bradley Brad has joined us. When did you get here?
I just now.
Man, you sneak up on people. So we just did a little bit of some Jeff Dog and the Potheads walkthroughs. That was one of the songs were a lot of our repertoire back in the day. Kodachrome was not. I don't think we ever did that live. Well, let's get to Jeff Dog and the Potheads never played live. Why do you think that is?
No one would have us after the rehearsal.
Well, we were, and another guy, I don't want to incriminate, but John Chandler was like a harmonica player. He was great, and he was really into us doing a lot of Black Sabbath songs. We did Wizard. I believe we worked on the Wizard for a while, and I was struggling with War Pigs, I gotta say. I love that song now. But we did work on She Said. I remember you and I did the harmony. I felt like we were kind of getting there, weren't we?
Yeah, we could have nailed that one.
Oh. If we'd ever gotten to play anywhere live, but we didn't. So yes, Jeff Dog and the Potheads never played anywhere live. I think we had about 8 or 9 practices, and Brad said, this isn't working out for me. I had to focus on journalism or something, right? Yeah, so things moved on. Brad left, and then about a couple months later, I came across this guy, Blue Note, that looked just like him, and he was doing nothing but the blues.
Yeah, it took over my life for a while.
I remember having to bail you out of jail as Blue Note and bring up, no, it's actually Bradley Brad. It's not Blue Note at all. Down there at the Lane County courthouse. Boy, they got to know me after a while. But, so what was with that stint? How long were you in for?
Until you came and got me. I'm not sure how long it was.
I think it was like less than 72 hours, but I was pretty strung out on seasickness pills, actually. I was like, I didn't know what they were. I thought they would like help me sleep. So, I lost all track of time. Anyway, and then we got to where we are now. We all have our families. I hear you're a grandpa now. Oh no, I got some bad info on that. Some bad info, David. God, how embarrassing! How embarrassing. Okay, well, I guess just to be fair, we're gonna pay some bills and let you see some other commercials here, and then we're gonna get right back into some editorials. So here we go. I'm really glad to have Steve Sevilla back from the Bobby Caesar band. Peasant. Pleasant. Was it Pleasant Evolution?
You don't even know the name of your old band.
The Pleasant Evolution. And we're so glad that you've had us here at Madison Square. I'm so honored that Mitch Humbucker is sitting in with us. This is our new song called
Can't even bring a drummer.
Spin the Top. Okay, here we go.
Everybody needs a new spin doctor. Everybody needs a job to get along, you know. All I know is it'll let us grow. Every time you everybody through to new sunshine. Jonathan Edwards, may you blow my mind today. Have a good time. You know what I say. Gonna stay tonight. Injustice ain't right. We're gonna stay right. We always have a little patience when nothing's right. Everybody's got a new daydream, but is it as real as it may seem on TV today? No matter what I say, I ain't leaving today. Oh no, I gotta find a new song where we all get along. 'Cause ooh, I need you to be with me today. I feel blue, no matter what you say. Hooray, hooray, no matter what you say. Stop hooray, no matter what you say.
You suck.
Thank you. Thank you, New York.
New York hates you.
And we are back. We are back. Welcome to the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. I'm your host, Jeff Dodge. Mr. Rich Reese and Steven Sabila in the house. We also have Lint Chocolate, special guest guitarist, lead guitarist, and the exciting, wonderful, and peculiar Mr. Bradley Brad. At least the top of his forehead there, anyway. But some things have been handed to me on my desk here. God, my vision's getting weird here. These are some editorials we've been having. I guess there's been a little spat between some of our advertisers, and speaking of advertising. Oh wait, I'm gonna do that later, right? Okay, we're gonna do that later. Let's start with this first editorial. This comes courtesy of the Fremont Hills Sky Courier. Fremont Hills Sky. Oh, they do good stuff. All right, here we go. We appreciate our hard-working restaurant workers in our town. On those exhausting days when a home-cooked meal requires too much effort, it's nice to live in a place where there's a variety of quality dining experiences to choose from. It is from this reason that a recent rivalry has reared its head in an unusual forum. It's become a concern. It has occurred during commercial breaks that air on the oddly named internet program The Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. Well, that's not odd. What? Show host Jeff Dodge seems quite the simpleton. What do you mean by that? So we can't imagine him creating a ruckus for the sake of increasing the ratings. I'd never do that. What's happening is two restaurants are duking it out like cats and dogs in a pet food factory. Each month, the establishment seems to be taking turns running ads claiming to be the better spirited, and it seems to be getting uglier. The escalating fracas is cringe-inducing, causing a loss of appetite in a community where we all value all restaurants depending on the moods of our palates. Political candidates making personal attacks is bad enough, but when it happens between two fine, upstanding establishments, we demand it stop. Well, there you go. That's wow. Fremont Hills Sky Courier. I'm not picking side. I'm going to take a guess here, Rich, Brad. This is something to do with, I think, Shea Bristow and the steakhouse. You guys, I'm usually too busy to watch the ads. Right. I don't usually know what they're saying, but I plead the fifth.
Well, who's producing the ads?
Well, that's a good question. I don't like to ask questions like that because they might quit giving us money. So I just,
Right. I mean, I think this is really up to like the sales department.
Well, we've got another one here, I think. So that was the Fremont Hills Sky Courier. Oh, and the Fremont Hills Beacon Journal. That must be up there on over by the graveyard there, like 51st or something.
Sure, fancy town.
Yeah. Okay, perfect for Halloween or All Saints Day, I guess. All Saints Day. The refusal to restrict the freedom of speech of any American is the cornerstone, the very bedrock on which the Fremont Hills Beacon Journal stands. We strive towards this notion of integrity. When we learn that our rival newspaper has a problem concerning a petty squabble between two local restaurants, we must sound off. Restrictions of speech and expression on any manner are un-American. While others threaten to move to Canada, we call out our concern. Let the advertising continue on the Peasant Revolution Variety Hour. If that's how the business chooses to conduct themselves, it's up to the people to decide ultimately. Two restaurants that want to make assertions and counter-assertions on a show as mind-numbingly dim-witted as the Peasant Revolution Variety Hour have that right and shall not be denied. Anyways, Brad, I was going to ask you a question. It helps sometimes remember if I have my guitar, trusty old guitar here. But we were talking the other day, and you're telling me about some beers you've been brewing. You want to go through the brewing process for me, please?
Well, what I've been focusing on is the carbonation, which is, I think, really an overlooked aspect to the beer. If you want to get into, really, it's carbon dioxide ore, and it's just a fine molecule.
What
might not even associated with good beer.
What do you do to get the beer?
Well, you have to brew beer first.
And does that involve, stuff?
Yeah, there's you got your malted barley, wide variety of barley malts. You got wide variety of yeasts and
What?
put some water in there.
Like how you get your nut brown? Hey, you know what? Just forget it. Let's do this one. You remember this one? It's like an old one.
alive. Oh my goodness, we're still alive. What a deal.
Join us, revolution band.